Hey, guys. So today we're talking about how worthiness impacts your nervous system. We're basically talking about how worthiness, success, and your nervous system all intertwine in very interesting ways that can either hold you back from what it is that you desire to create or can help you create what it is that you want to create. Now, worthiness is one of these things that I see in so many of my clients. It is something that comes up pretty much across the board. You guys have probably heard me talk about this before, but I truly believe that starting your business and running your business is the biggest personal development lab there is. It's going to bring up everything inside of you that needs to be worked through in the here and now, through running your business, through starting your business, through scaling your income, through all of these things. The reason is, think about it this way. Do your relationship issues come up to be healed when you're sitting there single by the pool, sipping a Mai Tai? Or do they come up when you enter into a new relationship and you're confronted with the realities of what that relationship is going to take from you? Not take from you, but take of you, like require of you. Yeah, exactly. It's going to come up in context. And this is an important concept to consider when it comes to psychology and the way your brain works, is learning best happens in context. Same with everything I work with my clients. You always want to work with things in context. What I mean by in context is you want to work with them in the environment in which they are most valid. So you want to be working through, issues about how to do a relationship really well while you're starting a new relationship. You want to work through stuff around dating when you're dating. You want to work through, you know what I mean? It makes a lot of sense, right? And so, of course, your stuff around business, value, worthiness for more, worthiness for creativity, all of these things are not going to come up until you are in context. They're not going to come up until you are starting your business, till you are scaling your income, until you are charging higher prices, until you are asking for the sale. And so it's natural and normal for these things to come up in your business. However, worthiness is one of those things that ends up becoming a real sticking point for a lot of my clients, for a lot of the people I work with. Why is that? Because, well, first of all, worthiness is one of those things that can be something we don't always want to look at. It's something that we don't always want to address or something that we don't always want to acknowledge within ourselves. It can be really challenging to freaking acknowledge to ourselves that maybe I don't feel worthy of more success. Maybe I don't feel worthy of the best-selling book. Maybe I don't feel worthy of the TEDx talk. Maybe I don't feel worthy for 20K months, 100K months, whatever it might be. Maybe I don't feel worthy of so many people paying attention to what I'm saying. Maybe I don't feel like enough. Maybe I feel as though people are going to attack me or that it's going to be stressful, right? It can be very, very difficult and challenging to even acknowledge these things about ourselves. And this is where the power of the nervous system comes in, because something people don't realize when it comes to limiting beliefs, when it comes to our beliefs about ourselves, when it comes to these blocks, is that unless we feel safe in even looking at them, we will never be able to overcome them. And safety, first and foremost, begins with feeling safe and regulated in our nervous system. If we do not feel safe and regulated in our nervous system and feel as though it's safe to explore some of these perhaps more challenging questions, like, do I feel worthy of the best-selling book, let's say? Well, then I'm going to ignore it. I'm going to push it out of my awareness. My subconscious mind isn't even going to allow me to pay attention to this limiting belief because addressing it and looking at it is going to feel threatening to me. It's going to feel like a threat to my safety because my nervous system is dysregulated about it. Even acknowledging that I don't feel worthy of this is putting me into a state of chronic stress, is making me feel fight or flight, is reminding me of a trauma from when I was young. And so my subconscious mind will not allow me to even approach it, to even approach allowing it to dissolve. And so safety in our nervous system is the first most essential step, not just to allowing ourselves to expand and scale into more, but allowing ourselves to look at the things that are in the way of our expansion and in the way of us allowing more success, more abundance, more income, more impact, more freedom into our lives. Because we have to have the regulated nervous system to be able to engage our courage muscles that allow us to release these things and look at them honestly. It takes a lot of guts to be honest with yourself. It takes a lot of guts to be able to look at yourself and say, there's something holding me back and I don't know what it is, or there's something holding me back and I do know what it is, and I'm willing to go there and look at it. Because it can bring up a lot of shame. It can bring up a lot of guilt. It can bring up a lot of angst. It can bring up a lot of feelings of failure. Because we take it to mean that something is wrong with us instead of realizing that worthiness issues, all of these things, they're not a factor of something being wrong with us. They're a factor of we've been taught that we don't have that inherent value. We've been taught that we don't have that inherent diamond inside of us. One of my favorite analogies, we're all diamonds, but you unearth a diamond from the earth, unearth it from the earth, and it's usually covered in dirt or coal or crap or whatever, and it hides its brilliance. But it's not as though that is part of the diamond. The diamond is inherently vibrant and perfect as it is. We just have to wash away the outside, the crap that has been put on it by the world, and then that inherent vibrance is revealed. And the same exists for you. At your core, you are the diamond. It's the world that's told us that we're not. And at your core, you are worthy. You are deserving. You are enough. It's just the world that's told you that you're not. Nobody has to earn being enough. Nobody has to earn being worthy. Nobody has to earn their value. We might need to take action in order to have things happen for us, but we don't have to be in a place where we think we have to be a different kind of a person in order to finally be worthy or deserving of it to begin with. So the thing is when somebody does not feel worthy of success, it's a stressful situation. So not only is it stressful to look at the thing to begin with, but it becomes stressful to even experience that unworthiness. And then that unworthiness implants in our nervous system and makes us feel like whatever it is we feel unworthy to do, whether that's more success in our business, more impact, a best-selling book, making more money, whatever it might be, is stressful as well. So we have this desire to go big on the one hand, and then we fear that we'll be called out by other people. We fear that we'll be exposed. We fear that people will see through us. We fear that people are going to just be jackholes and that we're going to, or that we're going to get stressed out. And all of these things end up coming up and they, again, stress us out, create that tension within our body that then gives our subconscious mind feedback that this thing isn't safe. No matter how much we want it on a conscious level, that income, making more money, more success, more impact, best-selling book, whatever it is, if we have something inside of us that tells us it's going to be stressful, whether that's overwork and overwhelm, but a lot of times it comes down to feeling unworthy of it, our subconscious mind is going to hold us back from it. And so in order to embody that true diamond within us, that inherent value, enoughness, worthiness, thing inside of you that knows that you can have every divine thing that you desire, what you need to do is you need to basically, again, regulating your nervous system and making it safe to even acknowledge these things about yourself, acknowledge that these things have held you back, acknowledge that the world has put, the crap-colored coating on the diamond, acknowledge that there's things to release, and then allowing those things, moving through those things, releasing those things so that you can claim your worthiness now, so that you can claim the fact that you didn't ever have to earn it, that you were always inherently worthy, that you were always inherently valuable, that you were always enough. Now, I want to acknowledge one last thing, and this is about that crack-colored coating that we're talking about. A lot of times, trauma from the past can make us feel as though we're not worthy. There can be big traumas like being told you're worthless or you're a failure or things like that. Those are kind of obvious, right? But other times these traumas, they look like things like we were only acknowledged or told we were good when we were achieving. We were only acknowledged or told when we were told we were good when we were getting straight A's. We were only acknowledged or told we were good when we were working really hard. Well, those things might not sound like traumas, but what they're doing is they're implanting within you, they've implanted within you this sense that worthiness and enoughness is earned instead of just who you are. Now, I'm not saying that we go into a culture where we give everybody a first place trophy or anything like that. You know, I know a lot of people complain about that. These days, they all get the participation trophies, and that's messed up. That's not what we're talking about here. What we're talking about is we're talking about self-worth. We're talking about self-esteem. We're talking about confidence. Then you take action, which gives you results. Results are a different thing. Inherent worthiness is different from the results you see based upon the actions you take. But the actions you take are going to be radically different depending on how you feel about yourself to begin with. And that's what this is about. If every kid in our society could feel good about themselves and their potential to create whatever they wanted to, and then they recognize that the game is taking action to see those potentialities, to see those effects based upon those actions, then we empower kids or adults or business owners or entrepreneurs to feel good about themselves here and now, not feel as though they have to earn it, not feel as though they have to be something different. Then take radical aligned action, which then results in different impacts and different effects. And that's when we're all empowered. And that's when you become the empowered CEO. And that's when you become empowered to trust your judgment. That's when you become empowered to feel like the leader inside of your business. That's when you feel empowered to scale your income. It's not when you're sitting here saying, well, I'll feel better about myself once I have my consistent income month, or I'll feel good enough once I have this next credential, or I'm going to feel good about myself finally when this thing happens. I'm going to feel worthy at that point. Oh, I claim it now. Claim it now. Recognize that you are worthy of every divine thing now, and allow that to fill you with the inspiration that will bring your manifestation, your money, your success, your impact, your freedom into your life through those bold, beautiful, aligned actions that you'll take as a result.